Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I know my day's been busy. I cannot believe it's already 3:30. Oh my gosh, I still have so much to do. I wanted to come on here and chat with you guys about stress. So I hope my caption got your attention. Let me open my comments so I can see them. Hopefully, I can see them coming through. But I wanted to come on here and quickly talk to you for a couple minutes about stress. We live in a crazy world right now, and we know that stress can affect our life drastically, right? And so my title was I'm so stressed, I feel like I could scream. And I feel like so many of us get like that in life. And maybe you're not the type to scream. Maybe you are more of the type that just is like a turtle and you just go in your shell and you close yourself off. We all handle stress differently. Everybody has a different way of managing their stress and how they handle it. And that's totally normal. But I just wanted to talk about stress, how it affects our life, and how we can do a couple things to manage it. I have 3 tips I'm going to give you here in a minute about stress and what we can do with it. So it's something that we all experience, but have you really thought about how you react when you're stressed? Also, if you're watching this live, if you'll drop me a hashtag live in the comments. If you're catching it afterwards, drop me a hashtag replay. That just helps me engage what time to do all of the lives. I love being able to see who's on here because sometimes I don't get to see the comments that I just miss them or whatnot. So, yeah, I just drop me hashtag live or hashtag replay, whichever you feel most comfortable or whenever you're catching it. So, anyways, but back to what I was asking. So, have you really ever stopped to think about how you react when you're stressed? I mean, we know when we're stressed out, we know we have those feelings and emotions, but how do you actually react? And then how does that impact your relationships and your overall well being? So, I'm hoping that today you're able to take the information that I give to you and you can apply some of the concepts or all of them that I'm going to cover. Um, Mainly, we're going to talk about stress and communication. So, stress and communication are two things that are really hard to mesh together. It's possible, but it's going to take some effort to help you with that. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes awareness. It takes being aware of when you're stressed and how you react in the situations. So, when we are able to recognize the signs of stress and how it manifests in our life, then we're able to make changes. So it might be the racing heart, maybe it's sleepless nights, maybe it's that short temper that creeps on you and you snap in a flash and then you're like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even mean to do that. Why did I just do that?" Because stress, it takes physical, mental and emotional toll on us. So it's so crucial to be aware of those signs, so we can just take proactive steps to manage it and reduce the levels in which that we're facing it. So stress can honestly have such a profound impact on our relationships. When we're stressed, it's so easy to instantly become irritable. Like I said, you can become irritable, you can be distant, you can lash out, all different types of emotions and feelings come out when we're stressing. So it's important to recognize how the effects of stress have on our loved ones, as well as how it affects us and our connections just with the world in general. When you start understanding and acknowledging these different dynamics, then you can start building towards a healthier and more supportive system that helps with nurturing that helps with building those relationships even during those stressful times. So how can we effectively manage stress and communicate when we're stressed? It's different for everybody. So I'm going to have some tips I'm going to give you in just a second, and those tips, I hope you can at least take some of them and apply it, because like I said, everybody does things differently. Sometimes it's practicing self-care. Sometimes you know that you're stressed and self-care is exactly what it's going to take to make it better. You can engage in stress relieving activities, exercise, meditation. I've talked about meditation before. I love meditating. It just helps with relieving so much. It clears your mind. It gives you a chance to really just focus on what's important at the time. And then, of course, seeking support from your people around you. And if it comes down to it and you have to seek support from like a professional or a counselor or a coach, that's fine. Don't feel bad if you struggle with it and you have to get help from somebody else. So many times in our lives, we feel like we just have to be the hero. We're always having to save everybody. We're always having to take care of ourselves and do things for everybody else, but we don't stop and take care of our take care of ourselves. We're taking care of everyone else. and we don't want to ask for help. Asking for help from other people is one of the hardest things to do. And it can make you feel like you're belittling, like it makes you feel like you're small, or you're not enough, or you don't have enough worth. But asking for help and getting help from people outside of just yourself can actually help you grow tremendously. And then, of course, adopting a positive mindset. A positive mindset is not going to come overnight. I did not become the way I am. And I get a lot of feedback on, I love how positive you are. I love how uplifting you are. I did not get that overnight. And guys, when I say I practice it and I work on it every day, literally, I work on it every single day. There's a lot of times that I go through phases that I'm not positive still. I do my best. I have to stop and like reground myself and remind myself of why it's so important to be positive, why it's so important to push forward and keep that positive mindset. And it's something that really takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of determination. But if you're consistently doing it all the time, if you haven't learned, my word of the year is consistency. But if you're consistently doing it all the time, then it's not as hard. So today we're going to talk about 3 approaches that are going to help you build those coping mechanisms. So when you're stressed out and you're struggling, it's easier for you to communicate. So first, take a break and practice self-care. I already talked about it a little bit. When you're under stress and you're struggling to communicate, it's so important to just give yourself permission to take a break and focus on self-care. And sometimes you have to say that, like, hey, you know what? I'm a little bit stressed out right now, and I really need to step back. I need a moment to myself. I need a break. I need to just stop and regain myself and get myself back together. You can engage in those activities like I talked about, different activities that make it easier to handle stress, such as the meditation, relaxing, recharging. I did a whole live on recharging one day on how come we're so worried about plugging in our phones, but we're not worried about plugging ourselves back in. Why don't we recharge ourselves? It takes recharging yourself sometimes. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in the go, 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 go of life and the hustle to make money, the hustle to do this, just the constant hustle of everything, that we forget to recharge ourselves. And when we're not recharging ourselves, then stress comes easier. Like it just hits us harder than it would if we were recharged and we had a good mindset and the right energy flowing through our bodies. Take a deep breath, do breathing exercises, go on a nature walk. If you have a hobby, go do a hobby. I don't have a hobby. I've told you guys that. I still don't have a hobby. My hobby is building businesses, and that's not healthy. And I know that. I will admit to that. But I know that there are certain things that I have to do for myself that will allow me to recharge and get myself back together. And then, just taking that time. I did a live over this too. Take time for yourself so you can reduce those stress levels. When you're taking time for yourself and you are actually focusing on you, now you're going to have mental clarity. Now it's going to be easier for you to communicate. Now it's going to be easier for you to explain that, hey, I'm not feeling the best right now. I'm really stressed out. I just need this time for me. Okay. Number 2, seek support and talk it out. Like I said, don't feel like asking for support is a bad thing. Now, if you're asking for support every time you have a little bit of stress creeping up on you, that's a different subject. But don't hesitate. You have trusted people in your life. I'm sure you have friends, you have family members, and you may even have a doctor or somebody that's in your life that can help you manage that better. Sometimes venting and sharing your feelings with someone who listens empathetically can provide relief. But don't make it a point that you're constantly venting and doing all that. You want to keep an equal balance of the different things that you do to help you with stress. Because if you're constantly just venting about how you're feeling all the time, then people are gonna be like, oh my God, that person just complains all the time. They're not going to see it as, oh, they're stressed and they're just trying to let me know what's going on and they need help. They're going to see it as, wow, she complains or he complains all the time. And, oh, I don't even want to talk to them. They're going to quit talking to you. So you want to make sure that you're doing everything in a, like I said, in a balanced manner. Surround yourself with support network of individuals who are going to be able to offer you guidance, advice, and like I said, a simple listening ear. You want to make sure, I've been real big on this lately, make sure the people that you're surrounding yourself with are actually supportive, that they are supporting you when you're in these times. if you have all the different things I mentioned, if you have the positive mindset and you're doing all the different things, these times are not going to be as often as they would if you weren't doing all of that. And so when you're in a group or you have a network of people that you're with, it's easier for you to network with them. It's easier for you to talk to them and get advice and guidance if you are not trying to ask for it all the time. There's a balance. Again, everything's about balance. But just have the right type of people around you is what I'm trying to get at. And then sharing your struggles and challenges just helps you alleviate the stress. It allows you to get it out. It allows you to not be so hung up on it anymore, and it just provides you that fresh perspective on how you can actually navigate these situations and how it would be easier for you to communicate in these types of situations. And then the third point, so enhance your communication skills. So if you're struggling, and it seems like it's a reoccurring thing, like I said, it's constantly happening and you can't figure out, why am I getting stressed so bad? Why am I not able to communicate with my husband? Why can I not communicate with my kids or my coworkers or whatever? Then take time to invest your time, take time to invest your time and your effort in building on those skills, realizing that I'm stressed out and I'm not communicating very well, which is frustrating everybody around me, will help you noticing that will help you build on your skills of being able to realize, like, okay, I'm going through some stuff, I'm not communicating well, what do I need to do better? So you may need to listen to podcasts, you may need to read a book, you may need to get some self-help, whatever it is that's going to help you enhance those skills to communicate when you're stressed. So like I said, there's tons of different resources available. There's books, there's workshops, there's online courses, there's tons of coaches out there that will give you, they'll do coaching sessions with you, they'll give you activities to do, all kinds of different stuff. Nowadays, y'all, we have the most available resources at the click of a mouse. It's amazing how many resources are out there that can help you, that really are cost efficient. A lot of times you can get them for free. There's all kinds of stuff. But when you improve your active listening, you're practicing that empathy and you're learning how to express yourself assertively, you are going to be able to enhance those communication skills even when you're stressed out. And when I say assertively, I'm not talking about you come in the door like, I'm stressed, I'm not fixing to do all. That's not being assertive. Being assertive is just knowing that I'm going through stuff. I need to take some time for me. But when you say it, it's not like, I may be stressed out right now. I might need to take a break. You gotta say it like you mean it. You have to let the people in your circle and your network know, like, hey, I need a little bit of time. And you may have to do that in your work environment. Work can be so stressed, especially if you work a 9 to 5 and you have somebody breathing down your back all the time and all of that stuff. It can be very stressful. And so you have to find a way to communicate efficiently and assertively for them to understand that you need time for you to get yourself together so you can do better at whatever it is that you're doing. So remember that communication is a skill that can be learned and refined. So we teach our kids to communicate. Our kids are taught at a very young age how to communicate. So it is something that is learned. It is not just a natural skill. I'm sure there's a person in your life that does not communicate well. It doesn't matter who they're talking to, they do not communicate well because they haven't learned the skill of how to effectively communicate. They haven't learned exactly how to get their point across without upsetting people or with just confusing people. And once they're able to learn that skill and then they practice it, then they become very successful at it. And then also remember that everyone's experience with stress and communications can be challenging. Even the best communicator could be stressed and have issues from time to time communicating. So, but make sure that you're prioritizing that self-care, you're getting that support, and then you're just working every day on those communication skills. Doing all of this is going to help you build resilience and help you navigate through all the different stressful situations that you're going through with a lot easier pace. So I just hope that this was very beneficial to you. Like I said, remember, stress is a part of life, but it does not have to consume us. You have to be in control. You have to realize whenever it's taking over, and you have to take back control of whatever the situation is that's causing it. Recognize those signs, get that support, implement those coping strategies, and then just embrace the journey of stress management. Stress management is not always fun, but when you embrace it and you say, you know what, stress is part of life, I have to deal with it, I'm going to figure it out, just embrace it, then you're going to create more balance in your life. So, if any of this at any point, like I said, is valuable or you took anything away from it, please let me know what was the thing that stuck out to you the most. I would love to know. I really hope that you're able to learn and grow from this. I hope that you're able to learn and grow from all of my lives that I do. And then always remember, you're stressed and there's people in your life that are stressed too. So just support those people around you in this journey of life because it's crazy. I know it's so crazy right now. I feel like every day I say that, but we are since 2020, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many different things all the time coming up, you know? But just understand that sometimes we struggle with being able to comprehend the emotions that we have going on in our bodies. Just like our kids, when they're going through phases in life, they struggle to comprehend what's happening in their body. They cannot communicate it very well. And even as adults, we fail in that area too. And that's totally okay. But you just have to make sure that you're not sabotaging your relationships because these things are taking so much control of your life. So that's what I have for you today. I'm Kaylee. I'm the teacher of finances. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you took some value out of this. I hope this was beneficial for you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. See ya.